What I like best about the song Indiana Rain is that it's a story that touches all of us in some way or another, because we've all been touched by somebody in our lives who we've lost, or somebody close to us that has lost somebody. And I think we can all relate to that.
Through her veins, she remembered he is not here. It's
kind of fun when you're doing a video. You get to work with a whole team of people. I mean, I get to work with a stylist. He dresses me, he puts on my belt, he helps me get ready, and then of course you have the whole crew working on the video and making it. And it just takes a lot of elements. I've always pretty much been a performer. I've loved that from the time I was very little. In fact, my dad said whenever the refrigerator door opened, I would start singing and dancing. And I know that's a story that's been told by other artists, but it is basically how I've been. I love getting up on stage, and so for me that was a natural way for me to be.
In her mind, she could see his face and feel him by his side.
I started out when I was 4 years old knowing that I wanted to be a singer. My dad had Frank Sinatra records, and he's a jazz musician. He plays saxophone, and I used to sit and watch him practice all the time, and I got to see him in rehearsals, and I got some Frank Sinatra records from him, and I learned Frank Sinatra songs. Chuck Howard was introduced to me by Chance Smith, and Chuck and Amanda are very, very creative, and it was a wonderful experience because I could just see their brains working as they were developing the shots that we were doing. So it was very creative. It was an exploration.
Like the kneeling in the grave, that whole part. So when you do the turn and walk away, actually turn and walk that way. Don't walk into the water just yet, because I'm going to get that from that angle.
Chuck had someone scout for the perfect location. He found a 60-acre farm. It was right on the border of Tennessee and Kentucky. I think they call that Kentucky. And it was a 60-acre farm. It was on a, they had a spring running through there, a natural spring. And so we shot some of the shots there. We had some of the shots at the Weeping Willow, and then some of the shots in the barn. It was a beautiful location.
We just finished doing some shots of Sandy walking up into the creek and some really pretty close-ups and performance pieces on a hillside at sunset. And we're going to shoot under this willow tree, which is sort of, you know, more nostalgia. We're kind of going for that whole feel with her performances.
Wash away her pain.
We're here at Graham's, and it's in Nashville, Tennessee, and this is going to be our VFW set with dancers. We're going to be doing some dancing here, and I'll be singing in the background. So we've got 8 couples, I believe, that are going to be here, and then we've also got some extras, and I invited some of my friends to be extras. And Nashville's been kind of a third home, I guess, for me, because of course I grew up in Las Vegas, and then I started coming down to Nashville about 7 years ago, and ever since I've come here it's just felt like another home, and I'm happy to be recording the video for my new single, Indiana Rain.
Burning deep inside, trapped in their empty home. It's been driving her.
Everybody kept saying Indiana Rain is such a strong song, and it's an emotional song. And then when we talked about doing a video, we felt that it was strong also because it was going to tell this story and about this young couple. They're in love, and then he has to go to war, and then he doesn't come back. And the thing of it is she's trapped, you know. She doesn't know how to deal with her feelings, and that's what happens to couples sometimes. They don't know how to move forward, and we just felt like that was a very important message to get across.
She turned and she walked away.
I think the most interesting thing is having the different settings and shooting the different settings, and then at the end watching it all come together, how the story weaves together, because I did not stay on the set for the days that they shot the other scenes with the other couple, because I wanted them to have their time. So I didn't see any of those sets or those scenes going on, and until we were in the editing process. So then at the end, when you see it all weave together, and then you see how the story comes together, that's what's very, very nice.